Well, I just got the fender sitting on there. It's lining up good. Body lines do match. The only thing I've seen on this, and I think autometaldirect probably just does it because the majority of the years probably don't have what the 73 and 74 does. I guess, well, take that back to 74 and 75 because, to be honest, I'm not sure, but what I'm getting at is here, the only difference I've seen here is the same thing I've seen on the fender that was on this car. This bolt hole doesn't have a place to go in the body. The bolt hole is supposed to be right here. Now, the fender that come off the 75 out there, the way it was, this comes across here, it curves up a little bit and comes over and then rounds around, and the hole's drilled right there. And if you can see it, back there is where that hole is supposed to be. I know it's blurry, the camera's not focusing. But, so far, everything's looking good. I got back here a while ago and I got the body gap as close as I can get it with my hands. The stud's not in the top of the fender here for me to bolt it down, so autometaldirect says on the box, do not prime or sand anything because you can't do any returns on any parts that have been sanded or primed or painted. So you got to test fit it first, make sure. So it's kind of a preliminary test fit here, and everything's looking good. Like I said, when I was holding it up by my hand, I can't do it while I'm holding the camera. But the body lines match the door on this car. Before, the door and the fender, the body lines were off by, somewhere around 3/16 of an inch here, and down there it was more like a 1/4 inch or so. But got the fender in, and the good thing about that is there's no rust. Got a bunch of undercoating I'll get off of it. I can just take a red Scotch right to the inside of it, put the epoxy on there, and then undercoat what I need to. Let that dry, and then work on the outside of it. Like I said, I made another video that I'm going to tag autometaldirect in. There's a little ding somewhere right there. If the camera picks it up. Yeah, I think it does a little bit. There's a little ding right there. And there's a little outie right here sticking out. I have to tap that one down. It looks like maybe the fender might have got bumped around right here. Something else I noticed, and this is the reason why I made the other video and tagged autometaldirect. Kind of hard to see here, but this fender right there, there's no primer. It's been drugged down. It looks like what was in the box, someone just drug it on the cement floor. But the end of it's got a burr sticking up here, and it's flattened off there, and all the primer's rubbed off on the very end of it. So I love the autometaldirect parts. I've used quite a few parts on this car for it, and I've used a lot of parts on my 68 Nova, which is over here collecting dust amongst all the junk I've got stacked around it. But that's a long-term project there. Pretty much replaced everything on it except the skeleton of the car and the roof skin. But there's my little update for today. I've been busy all day today running around getting stuff to work on this. I was going to go get a haircut and I didn't get that done. And then my daughter was wanting me to take her to church, but she can't seem to get ready on time, so she didn't get to go. Trying to teach her she has to be responsible and watch the clock herself. But she's 13 years old. It's time for her to start learning that, right? Anyway, hope you liked the video. Leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, follow me, share with your friends. Appreciate it. I'm going to add this to the other video I just made. I've talked about this before. I really think this front end's been chopped off. At first, well, I know it has now because I was watching Graveyard Cars the other night, and he was talking about the VIN number that's on the dash up there. And there was a discrepancy on that particular car. It had a 426 Hemi in it, but if I recall, it was a letter J that was missing. There was only 12 digits in the VIN. There should be 13. And it could have been some other letter. I'm not a Mopar buff, so forgive me if I get that wrong. But if it was a J, that was the thing that was missing, and that's what stipulates that that car would have come from the factory with a 426 Hemi. And he went on to show how he could prove that he thought that particular car did come from the factory with a 426 Hemi. And he went on and he started talking about certain numbers that were in the VIN code that's on the dash. They will also be right here. And, I can't hardly see them, and I know it's upside down. And on the back of the car, back here, it's on both sides. And on this side, I sanded it down. I can't hardly make it out. But these numbers here are different than what is on the front. And the dash is over in the corner, other side of the shop is all buried up, so I can't even get that to check it right now. But hoping to God that the numbers on the VIN of the dash on this car match the numbers is on the back of that. Because this car had bits and pieces of different colors of cars all over it. And I know that happens over the years. You know, they got to find what they need. But it just goes to prove my point that I know this front end has been chopped off and used for another car. My first suspicion of that was because all this in here was painted bright orange, and the rest of the car was the tawny gold. It's kind of a greenish brown color. When it's new, it's pretty, but this old acrylic enamel that was on it, to me, it was ugly, and it was faded out. But anyway, to get back about, to prove my point about how I knew this car's things have been changed, because that number right there does not match the number that's back there. Like I said, I can't hardly see them, but I remember looking the other night, and when I had no primer in it, I could read them a lot easier. This looks like 8. Nope, here we go. Hell, I can't tell. It's hard for me to see. Anyway, to get to my point here, why I started this video to add to the other, is this side of the car is a little bit shorter on the front end than that side over there. Now, here's why I say that. If you look at that bolt hole, see how much the front end hangs out here? And then that gray line's underneath there, that's part of the radiator support. And the hole for the radiator support is further back here, but the hole for the fender is up here. Now I can still get them to line up, you know, because a bolt will go through there and the clip, there's enough room. But you see it's the same way there. That hole that's in the radiator support down there is slotted lengthwise of the vehicle. And they do these on the fender the opposite direction. That way you've got room to wiggle the fender front and back and side to side. But you see how close that is there. I mean, that is touching. And you see how far forward the fender is compared to the holes in the radiator support. So, the best thing to do for this car, and I hate that I have to do this, those holes in the radiator support are just going to have to be slotted more towards the front of the car. And I got to put all the fenders on there, get everything lined up, body lines lined up, gaps right on the door. I've got the door gaps right to the quarter. The trunk's sitting good now. But I got to get those fenders on there and get the gaps right between the cowl panel up there and the door itself. Then I got to stick that hood back on there and then see how square that fits in the hole. Because we got 3 sides we got to line up here. The front, you know, you can fudge a little bit. I mean, you can put shims in the hood latch and all this and that and move that back and forth. And also side to side and up and down, however you need to move it to get that to fit. But keeping my fingers crossed that that old hood fits in there square and I don't have a bunch of problems, because this car did not fit together well at all when we first got it. I mean, it was really tight right here. The hood was almost touching this corner of the cowl. On the opposite corner over there, I could stick my fat little nubby fingers right in there. And I mean, they're not quite sausages, but they're about the size of an Oscar Mayer hot dog. So that's a big gap, especially considering it was that tight over here. So anyway, I'm going to add this to the other video, and then I'm going to use my video editor and upload it all to YouTube. Altogether, these two videos together probably going to be 15 minutes or a little longer, so it's probably going to take 5 hours to upload it. But that's what happens whenever I film in 1080p, or even I used to film in 4K, but it was just taking too long to upload the videos, so that's what I do now. But I'm stoked to get a new fender. I don't have a boatload of work ahead of me prepping that thing, so thank God for that. And I'm gonna tell you, if you want to build a Mopar, you better have deep pockets. Parts are not cheap for this, because a fender for that 68 Nova, you're looking at, I think, $364 just for the fender. And then you're looking at about $100, a little more to ship it from Summit. And if you buy it from autometaldirect, and it's the same fender, because that's what Summit sells is autometaldirect. But if you buy it from autometaldirect, it costs $150 to ship it. But this fender from autometaldirect was $550. So that's like $190 more, something like that. Forgive me if my math's not as good. I've been out of school 35 years. But then it was $150 to ship it from autometaldirect. That would have made that fender $700. Luckily, I found it at Summit. It was $406, and then by the time they added all their shipping and everything fees, the customer told me it was right at $650. So we saved $100 by going through Summit. And usually Summit ships faster than autometaldirect. It hadn't been that way with this coronavirus crap. It took a little over a week to get this, but typically when I've ordered things from Summit, it's here in 2 to 3 days. Because I'm in Arkansas and they're not very far away. I think it's down in Georgia, if I remember. Maybe Atlanta, Georgia. I can't remember for sure. But anyway, I better shut up. I've talked long enough. This video is going to take forever. But thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel. Share with your friends.